I was shocked to find that out too. I'm trying to be sensitive and not say things that will offend people. Let me say it. I will find a way to be like, no, but that question doesn't make sense though. Hi guys, and welcome to my birthday get ready with me. I'm so excited because today's my actual birthday. I'm a full grown woman. I'm 24. 24. Grown. I can't even lie anymore about I'm a youngin'. My brother said it this morning. I'm now closer to 30 than I am to 18. Before we get in, I spent all yesterday getting ready. These are my nails, if they actually focus. They're so cute. I did them myself. The sad thing is I probably will have to take it off by Tuesday, so it is well. Anyway, before we jump right in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you don't miss out on any future uploads. I'm currently vlogging, all that stuff. In honor of my 24th birthday, I wanted to film 24 lessons that I've learned in life as a 24-year-old. 24. We're in the Kobe year. I've actually learned a lot more in life than I thought because I wrote down 28 different things, but some of them are definitely a video in themselves, so I'll probably skip those and just stick to 24 for today. But each of them, they're all great. I don't know if I want to start lighthearted or if we just go straight into like the big one. I feel like all of these are big ones. Where do I even start? We're gonna start lighthearted. Anyway, the very first one is to be kind to yourself and be nice to yourself. This is actually one that I learned probably like 2 weeks ago or so, because my new favorite TikToker, Pookie Bear, if you know, you know, it's the way you act. It's the way you act. Throw that shoulder into it. My favorite Pookie Bear, he literally made a video where he talked about being nice to yourself and being kind to yourself. And I think so many times in life we really don't talk to ourselves with the kindness that we deserve. And the way I can best think about it is, imagine if you were talking, because we all love our besties, like we love our besties through and through. Nobody can say anything negative about them. So imagine if you talked to your bestie the way you talk to yourself. I don't think you would be okay with that, because so many times in life we tear ourselves down. We're not nice to ourselves, we're not kind, we're just overall rude. It's like, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, da, 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 da. You never truly spend a moment like, you look cute today, and truly like sit and believe it and just give yourself compliments, take yourself on date, treat yourself, all that stuff. We just never do that sometimes. Well, I never do that sometimes. I don't speak for myself. So I think that was the main one that I learned, that I'm like, oh, this is actually a very, very true one. This kind of ties into, I feel like this is like a one that was 1A, this is like 1B, which is also make sure that you accept compliments from people. I always found myself deflecting, like people will compliment me or they'll bring up my business and I'll be like, stop talking right now. I would get so cringe, or people would compliment me. They're like, oh, you look cute today. I'm like, girl, don't mind me. I was struggling today or something like that. We deflect these compliments so often. It's a reflection of something deeper going on inside. So make sure you accept compliments, however little, however big. If somebody says something nice to you, they like your outfit, don't be like, girl, the pants are ripped here, or the shirt is actually kind of jacked up here. Just be like, thank you. And these lessons, some of them I'm still learning myself. We're a work in progress. Next up, I'm just going to use Too Faced Concealer in the shade Toffee. Especially for me, because I do stuff online. So people will either bring up my YouTube channel or my business. They're like, oh my gosh, I saw you have a business. And I'm like, why are you doing that right now? Like, why is this a conversation? I don't know. Accepting compliments about my business to me has just always been something very difficult. But I've truly learned that, okay, Kemi, it's not the end of the world. When people bring up either me or they compliment me, I do my best to not just be like, no, you know, it's just something little. I'm like, okay, thank you. Even sometimes I'll go as far as like adding onto it. It's like somebody says, oh, you look cute. I'm like, I know, right? Thank you. So you also literally accept it and believe it in your mind too. This one's a good one, and it's one that I learned a little later on in life. I wouldn't say I was naive as a person. I guess you can say I was a little naive. I couldn't believe that there were genuinely like evil people out there in the world, that there will be people that would do things deliberately to hurt you. I always felt like there was an excuse as to why they needed to hurt you, or they were put in a situation where it was difficult for them or something like that. Cause why would you want to do evil to somebody else? It was one of those things where I was a little naive, I can't lie. I was like, I always came up with excuses. I always just thought there was an explanation if somebody did you dirty. Sometimes there isn't. Like, I had to learn, sometimes there isn't. There are just genuinely people who are not good. And I don't say that lightly. I don't say that to be, I don't know. It was just a lesson that I was like, oh. It was a lesson that I was shocked to learn, honestly speaking, because it doesn't make any sense that people are not nice to you. It just doesn't make any sense that I know you, you know me, I say hi, you're like, What? Like, people are not, yeah, just don't be naive. Don't be naive, which also goes into one of my favorite life lessons that I've ever learned, and that's the importance of having a discerning spirit. Not everyone that's kicking, smiling in your face, do they mean that stuff? And I was shocked to find that out too, because you just smiled in my face. And this is something that I really struggle with, I can't lie, because I had a situation where I didn't have proof that the person was a little funky, but my spirit always just told me, watch out for that person. And I was like, but they haven't done anything wrong. Certain things will happen, and then I'll tell my parents, and also you tell just older people in general, and they're like, nah, that was a little fishy. And I'm like, oh, that is the little, yeah. Now I'm just going in to set my face with the HD Skin Velvet Matte. What does it say? HD, what? There you go. Yeah, I'm using the powder to set my face. All my highlighted points. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, have a discerning spirit. You don't need proof that somebody's bad before you like distance yourself. The moment God places that thing in you, I always say trust a woman's intuition. The moment you feel that, be aware of it, be mindful of it. There might even be situations where people are like well known and well loved by everyone around you, but you just don't connect. And I'm not talking about in a hater way. Like your spirit just does not feel settled with them. Lean into that, and it doesn't matter if everybody's like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. If you don't feel at peace with that person, you don't feel at peace with that person. It's simple as that. They might be fine in other people's life. That does not mean that they'll be fine in your life. That was 3A and 3B. There's not a certain category for some of these, but they're just general life lessons that I've learned. The next one is that life isn't black or white. Growing up, I always thought things were black or white. Again, I guess maybe it was a little bit of being naive and whatnot, but I truly just thought right, wrong, good, bad. But life isn't that way, and I saw a video that explained it perfectly when it comes to the topic of trust. Oh, something's in my eye. She explained it perfectly when it came to the topic of trust, because she basically said that a lot of times in life we're taught that if you tell somebody something, and let's say they tell somebody else, you automatically rule them as a whole person as untrustworthy, when that might not be the case. They simply can be somebody that you don't trust with your secret. And this is something that I learned because I always used to think, oh, if you did this, this means you're that. And it's like, we all have our faults in life. You're always not gonna be, you might have a great friend in your life, but you just know, if I want her to be on time to something, she can't be on time. Does that mean that she's automatically a disloyal friend and whatnot? No, she just might have her fault. And I think so many times in life we just think black, white, good, bad. And that's not the case. Look at me getting all comfortable. I have to do my makeup. Not even to make light of it, but certain crimes under certain circumstances, they're not so good, bad anymore. They're, okay, it sucks that they did that, but I could understand due to the circumstance. And this kind of ties into my, is this number 4 or 5? I think 5, which is friendship breakups don't always have to be bad. Again, we're being taught that life is black or white. Even relationship breakups, they don't always have to be this block, you're a piece of trash, get out of my life, yada yada yada. It doesn't always have to be that. I think there are gonna be people that are in your life for a certain season, and when that season is over, it's over. It doesn't have to be, they're a piece of crap, I hate them. Then you start sharing all their business that they told you. Why? Like, just, no, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could simply be, okay, you know, you're no longer fulfilling me in my life as a friend. It doesn't even have to be an official thing. It could just be, you guys are now going down on separate paths. And I think about this a lot when it comes to childhood friendships. Especially if you meet your friend in like elementary school, you guys are gonna grow up into such different people than when you first met. And the likelihood is you guys are probably not going to be as close as you once were. It could simply be, we're in different stages of our life, and that's that. And once they're done serving that season, they're done serving that season. And I don't think you need to make it, it sucks sometimes, don't get me wrong, because you're like, we were ride or die. I thought we'll be at each other's wedding and all that, and it sucks sometimes, especially if you guys maybe did end on a bad note and you didn't just drift apart. But I still think you should always go back to, I'm glad for the purpose they served in my life. I'm glad for the happy memories. And they're just not meant to be in the second part of my life. And that's okay. I almost used my makeup brush to check off the list. The 6th life lesson that I can't believe I'm only on number 6. Oh my gosh. I talk a lot. The 6th life lesson that I've learned is that you don't need closure in life. I don't know who made that rule of find closure, get closure. It will help you move on. Lies, 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 and more lies. You don't need closure. Move on with your life. And I really learned this lesson because I'll never forget. Me and my friend, we were going through, it felt like a friendship breakup at that moment, honestly speaking. It felt like a friendship breakup, and we were like, oh, you know what, let's go talk to them. Let's try and get closure and stuff. And I remember we went to go talk to them, and I think I was more mad after the conversation than I was before because it clarified nothing. What happened still happened. I was like, now I was more mad before the closure conversation than I was after. Ever since then, I learned that closure is overrated. And there are certain situations that just won't make, you keep replaying that thing in your head and time again. You're tormenting yourself and they moved on with life. You're trying to find, but why did it, people are jerks sometimes. People are not nice. Things happen in life, but at the end of the day, you still have to move on your own accord. I think there's a quote that says, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. Simply have to move on your own accord. It's not easy and it's hard because I'm also an overthinker. There needs to be more context. You just didn't want to stop talking to me one day. There needs to be an explanation. But I promise you, when people do even jarring things like that to you, no explanation is ever going to satisfy it. Because even if they were like, oh, I was going through a hard time, you'd be like, well, why didn't you lean on me? You will find an excuse to discount their closure. I will find a way to be like, no, that closure doesn't make sense though. So now I'm looking for another one. And you're going to be stuck there for years looking for closure when you got to find that within yourself, baby. You got to find the inner peace. Since we're just on the friend topic, I'm going to keep going. The people that you surround yourself with, they matter. I hate to tell you this. I didn't want to be I was the president of the club. Is that a hole? Skims. Rude. I also have a hole in my pants, but I didn't know it was ripped here too. Ghetto. Anyway, I was the president of the club of, as long as you know in your heart of heart, as long as you know in your heart of heart of who you are, your friends, they matter, but they don't matter that much. Lies. Who you surround yourself with, it matters tremendously. I stopped telling you guys what I was doing with makeup. Bronzer, I used Morphe, Glamazon, Prodigy, and then for blush, I'm using Makeup Geek Chivalry. Yeah, who you surround yourself with, it truly, it's so important. And I remember that I would be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And even if they don't drag you down, even if they, I'm gonna use that word lightly, even if they don't pull you down, you might get complacent at where you are, and that's not okay either. Especially if you're a Christian too. I know it's not easy to find Christian friends sometimes, but you can't also just hang around your friends that are not of the faith at all, and they're in the world and all that, and think it won't affect you at some point. Yeah, you might not do it to the extreme that they are, but you'll grow complacent and be like, well, I'm trying to be sensitive and not say things that will offend people. Let me say it. Don't ever justify your bad behavior or your sins by, oh, well, they might be going to the club every weekend to popping bottles, drinking, smoking, but you still struggle with stuff too. You still struggle with maybe lust. You still struggle with anger. You still struggle with a lot of things, and you're like, well, I'm not on their level. Don't ever get in that mindset of complacency just because you feel like you're better than them, because before you know, you're going to be one of them. Surround yourself with people with that. In times of trouble, you can be like, yo, I'm struggling. Be like, okay, let's pray. Those are the friends that you need. Yeah, I forgot that I talk a lot. I'm only on number 7. Oh my gosh. Going back to like personal self and stuff now that we've done friends. Number 8, never point out your own insecurity. I saw a video of Beyonce saying this, and I've always thought the same too. There are things that I struggle with, but I'll never ever open my mouth and tell you that. You know why? Because sometimes when you point out your own insecurity, people begin to notice them. There are flaws that you have in yourself that it's between you and God. Simple as that. You don't need to say it out loud. You don't need to give it life. Have it within yourself, work on it, and keep it at that. The moment you point out things in people, people notice it. Well, I walk a little funny or something like that. And I promise you, that's all they're going to see. That's all they're going to see. It's literally like when you get a new car. And all of a sudden, you start seeing that car everywhere. That's all you start seeing. The moment you point out certain insecurities about yourself to people, that's all they're going to see. And now they're like, oh yeah, you were right. What do you mean I was right? First of all, that was a vulnerable moment. Now it's conversation, and they think it's chatter. Or maybe they have been thinking it, and now that you brought it up, it's now chatter. And it's like, no, I'm still sensitive about this. It's not for conversation. It was a one and done thing. So never ever point out your own insecurity, people. The birthday messages are coming in. My friend texted me. She was like, happy birthday. Because I've been tormenting her with like Pookie Bears videos. And she was like, happy 24th birthday, Pookie. And I was like, I am a Pookie Bear. I love that man's TikTok so much. And now this will be number 8. If you notice a trait that you don't like in somebody else, you probably have the same trait. Dig deep into that. I would never forget, there's a trait that I see in my mom and it pisses me off. And then one day I was like, Kemi, you do the same thing. I was like, I'm guilty. Guilty. I'm guilty too. And it was hard for me to learn that because what do you mean? I thought I only saw it in her. No. We are literally reflections of one another in this life. Just truly think about it. Think about things that you don't like in other people. Sit with it for a little bit. Think about if you do it yourself. Again, I'm not going to say mine because I don't want people to notice my insecurities that I'm dealing with myself and I'm working on. But pay attention to it and lean into that. Even the Bible says, before you pick the stone out of your brother's eye, pick the one out of your eye. I think my mom is here. Number 10, and one of my clients taught me this. If you keep waiting on people to do stuff, you will never get things done. And don't get me wrong, I want to do things with friends. So there's certain things that you will do with friends. But also, the older you get, I'm 24, and I'm trying to get all of us on one schedule is impossible because everybody has their own stuff going on, and that's perfectly okay. That will happen. It's a sad reality that's part of the 24-year-old that I'm not happy with. We're in different states, we're in different phases of our lives, so it won't be as easy to hang out anymore. But you also can't wait on everybody, because if you wait on somebody to take that first trip, if you wait on somebody to try that pasta making class that you saved, all those TikToks that you saved, the things that you want to do, if you're not finding people to do them with, go out and try them yourself. If you keep waiting, I promise you're going to be waiting for a long time. Some of them are a little awkward. If there's a movie that you've been wanting to see, don't wait on somebody. Just go out and have fun and do it by yourself. This is also my mother singing. Thanks, Mom. This also goes into the whole being nice to yourself and taking yourself out on dates. Thanks, Mom.
May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you, Kemi. May the good Lord bless you. Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray!
See who is 24.
24.
Ha! Ha! Alaja ibi ijoko ya o. Shewere kodawale.
Yo, I have one battery that I'm like recharging. The other one doesn't want to work today. Of all days, why do you want to do me like this? The next one is make decisions that 5 years from you now will be proud of. And I go as much as don't let a temporary satisfaction make things more difficult for you in the long run. I say 5 years from you now, but honestly, like 6 months or a year. You know summer is coming around the corner. You want to be summer body, but you got to do things right now that will make then you happy. Where am I in my makeup routine? I don't even know where I am in my makeup routine anymore. So all that cleaning up your room, financing, budgeting, it sucks to do it right now. But 5 years from you now, when you maybe have a lot more responsibilities, those discipline and those skills and those habits that you built, you'll be so grateful, because trying to build some of those habits when you're like 30 and you're really stuck in them, it's not that easy to build them as when you're in your 20s. So just make 5 years from you proud. If there's something that you want to start that you feel like it'll benefit you in the long run, even though it might be hard and challenging now, know that, okay, this will benefit me in the long run. I don't even know what number I am right now. I'm just talking. But then also goes into another point of appreciate the now. Like I said, I love working out because of how it makes me look, how it makes me feel, and all that stuff. But in the moment, I'm not really happy about it. But I always think about 80-year-old Kemi, that even walking down the stairs would be a challenge. I need to appreciate where I am right now, because a lot of things that we can do, like I can fall off my bed and be just fine. If I do that when I'm 80, I'm going to the hospital. It's not that simple anymore. So appreciate your body for what it is, what it's doing for you right now. Like, your happiness is never tied to a destination. I use fitness a lot because it's an easy example. Even though you might not be at your body weight, your body goals yet and stuff, still be happy, because by the time you maybe have kids or you're older, your body's going to be looking different, and you're going to look back at pictures of you right now and be like, dang, I wish I appreciated it more. I'm telling you right now, appreciate it right now. Appreciate that moment right now. Guys, I'm really trying to do this video, but my battery just keeps dying out on me and it doesn't charge fast enough. But we're going to get through this video. Next one I was going to say is, me and my friend talk about this a lot. Life is hard. You have to pick your version of hard. What do I mean by this? I hate driving. It's my entire personality trait. If you meet me, within 30 seconds it's probably gonna come up. I hate driving. But one thing I hate more than anything is being stuck somewhere because I can't go home and I don't have my car. I love, you see how I love my bed. I love to be home, but I hate being stuck somewhere. So, and I'm using driving, but this is also going to happen with a lot of decisions you make in life. They're going to be two hard decisions. You have to pick the one that doesn't seem as hard. Or like I said, one that will, the long-term gratification is a lot better than the short-term gratification. As much as when I tell you I hate to drive, you see me talking about it, it's my entire personality trait. Anything more than 15 minutes, too much for me. But I've driven places 50 minutes because I know I want to get home when I want to get home. And being stuck there is going to make me upset. And when I'm upset, I'm not having fun. And when I'm not having fun, nobody's having fun. Because now my entire it's a whole thing. So, although I really don't like driving, I take the hard decision of driving regardless because being stuck somewhere is way worse to me than, it's so much worse to me than driving in the moment. I am running so late to church today. It's so bad. And I hate being late to praise and worship. Now that we've done some life ones, let's get into relationships. Number one, you will find the right person. Have I found my right person? No. But I'm going to tell you that you are. And I know that I will, and I know that you will. Why? Because when I tell you in the last year or so, so many people around me have either gotten engaged or gotten married. And these are not just cutesy, let's have a wedding type of thing. These are couples that I don't even believe in relationship goals and all that because you never know what people are going through behind closed doors. They're only going to show you a cutesy version of it, a highlight reel. But these are people that I'm like, oh, these are things that I desire in relationship. These are things, like, it's possible to have that love. And that's not to discount that they will be the normal ups and downs of life. But at the core of it, they are truly like God ordained them together. One of my oh, I hope they don't mind me talking about them. Oh. Anyway, someone I know got married this year, and there's a saying that Yoruba people say. I'm Yoruba, by the way. I hope you guys remain friends till the end of time. They say when people are getting married, like, may you guys be friends to the end of. They say it in our language, but there are a couple that truly exemplify that because I always say there's some people in life, there are couples that if they weren't in a relationship, they wouldn't be friends. These are people that they are like true friends. And I'm like, that's dope. I talk with my sister all the time. And after seeing her go through previous relationship and now being with her husband now, I'm like, it's possible to have that love and you will find the right person in the right time. So please do not settle. Do not settle, because I don't know what that means. It's not in my vocabulary. I have no plan of doing that because I see people being loved the way that they should be loved, and it's beautiful. And I refuse to accept anything less, and you shouldn't either. Oh, I haven't done my eyebrows. How have I ever done my eyebrows? The next one, don't ever, you see my lips? Ever let a man tell you he doesn't want you twice. People have said this before. You can't make somebody that doesn't want you jealous. You're just gonna look like a fool. So, if a man tells you he doesn't want you, he doesn't want you. And they might not deliberately say it, but their actions prove otherwise. And one thing that people have told me time and time again, I can't wait to come on here and share you my story when it's true on my end too. But until then, one thing that people have told me time and time again is when a man likes you, you would know. So, if you're confused, if this man likes me, if this man doesn't, I don't think he likes you enough. No offense. I don't think he likes you enough. Because I've seen couples where I'm like, their man truly like loves they love their woman and there's no doubt about it. So if that man is confusing you, you have to do a whole psychological analysis if he's really meant for you, if what he said, okay, did that really mean okay, or was he being all that stuff. Again, this is me speaking as somebody that's not been in a relationship, but people have told me stuff. I'm still gonna say it. I don't think you need to, if you have to go through all, like when people talk about the ups and downs of a relationship, ups and downs is not guessing if that man likes you. Ups and downs is, I don't know, maybe he lost his job or you guys go through a death in the family or something. That's the ups and downs. But guessing whether that man likes you or not, that's not part of ups and downs, baby girl. And I know I'm saying it as somebody that hasn't been in a relationship, but the moment I start even entertaining anybody and it's a matter of But what about this? What about the moment that confusion starts? I'm like, girl. I'm like, girly pop. Let it go, baby. Let it go, baby girl. I'm running so late, it's not even funny. So I'm going to try and breeze through the last 9 points. The next 3 kind of all tie into each other, but 1, never live your life asking what ifs. I feel like there are things in life that, not that I regret, but I'm like, dang, I wish you wouldn't have done that or stuff like that. But at the same time, in the grand retrospective thing, where's this pin? In the grand retrospective things, I wouldn't say that I'm fully upset with certain decisions because although I might have made that decision or it made me uncomfortable or whatever the case might be, at the end of the day, I'll rather do that than look back on my life and ask what if. Like, it's literally one of my mottos in life, to never look back and be like, oh my gosh, what if I had just had a little bit more courage? What if I just had a bit more, I don't know, cojones or whatever you want to say. Try, you might, it might not go well, but still try. Never live your life just wondering, oh my gosh, I wish I had done that. What if I had done that? What if I had done that? Just try it and move on with your life. And the next 2 ones, they kind of go together. But the next one is, in everything you do in life, seek peace. If it doesn't bring you peace of mind, set yourself free. This life is funky, to say the least. So make sure in every single thing that you do, peace is at the top of your list. Make sure you... I'm trying to find the bobby pins and the bobby pins are not there. I'm trying to tie down my edges, but it is what it is. Hopefully this dried. I don't think it dried. It is what it is. Yeah, and everything you do, seek peace. If anything is bringing you trouble, worry, doubt, all that stuff. And I'm not saying that you won't go through that naturally, but make sure that above all, just have peace in life. Do things that make you happy. Do things that make you not think about the worries of tomorrow and all that stuff. Yo, where are these bobby pins? Am I going to be walking around with bobby pins in my head? And then my next point, which ties into the other one briefly, is that God is not a God of confusion. You might have to make decisions that you're not totally... How do I explain this? You might have to do things that is out of your comfort zone. But at the end of it, God is not one that brings confusion. He's not one that will bring doubt. So always remember that. Like I said with the man, if it's like so confusion that you're driving yourself crazy, I don't think that's from God. Because God is not a God of destruction. He's not one that will, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you get what I'm trying to say. God is not a God of confusion. So if it's confusing and stuff, go back and pray to God. Another good one, which honestly this I might make a whole video about, but make sure that you understand the realities of the world. As much as in this world they always say freedom, liberation, and all that, you also have to understand the realities of the world. I'm gonna give you an example. I love being comfortable. I love looking good. I love all that, but more than anything, I love looking comfortable sometimes. However, I can't show up to certain places the way I want to show up because the reality of the world is I'm not going to be accepted like that. What do I mean? Yes, liberation, wear what you want to wear, do all that and stuff. But if you show up to a job interview to certain things that is not appropriate, not business casual, let's say you wear a little short skirt or you do this or do that. According to the world, you should be able to do what you want to do. Cool. But at the same time, you're not going to get that job. That's just the reality of the world. So as much as you want to live in a life of liberation, also understand how the world operates. Yeah, make change, but also be cognizant of just how the world operates and the realities of it. You can't show up looking to mess with a job interview and think it's going to go well. No, you're not going to get the job. It's that simple. The curls are out. The hair is looking good. I have to wrap up this video because I'm beyond late to church. It's so bad. Next one, my dad actually taught me this when I was young. And when I was so young, I was like, you could at least make this a little bit nicer, but whatever. It's that not everyone will like you and you will not like everyone. It's that simple. And again, with me being naive and try to justify things and all that stuff, there are just some people, and it doesn't have to be bad blood. It's just, I don't like you. You're not my personality type and I'm not yours. And it's simple as that. It doesn't have to be anything mega. It doesn't have to be a thing. Like, you don't, it's just, sometimes you just won't like people in life. It goes back to what I talked about with the discerning spirit. There might just be some people where y'all just don't click, and it's okay. It's okay. You're not gonna like everybody. You're not gonna be for if you're for everyone, baby girl. I have some bad news for you. I have some bad news for you. Let me also put on some blush. Was going for a very much voluminous look. My bundles did me dirty, which I talked about in the vlog, but I don't know if I talked about it, but these bundles did me dirty. Be very careful when getting stuff from Amazon vendors. Ugh. But it came out good in the end. I'm not mad at it. My earrings, most of my jewelry are from Amazon. I already have earrings in. You can't even see my earrings, but I still want to change them. The next one is talk to yourself. Be aware of your emotions. So much so, I'm so thinking about my emotions that even when I celebrate my friends and I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, they just got a new car. They just got a new whatever. Even though I celebrated them in that moment and I was very happy, I still go back and sit with my emotions to make sure that I truly felt that way. And maybe if it wasn't genuine or whatever, I just truly like to sit with myself with my emotions to make sure that I'm putting out good things. And if I feel some type of way about something, think about why I feel that way. One thing I love to do that I did a lot during COVID was I had my Snapchat. My Snapchat was my diary. It could be a good day, whatever the case might be happening, I always just talk to my phone. When you talk through a lot of issues just out loud, you find a lot of solutions. So make sure that you talk to yourself. So even if you celebrate your friends and stuff, make sure that you truly genuinely feel that way and not just, and it wasn't just a facade that you put up just, I look good. Oh my gosh, look at my hair. I look good. I have to stop that. But yeah, just to make sure that you truly feel. I'm so late. Jesus forgive me. Oh my dearies. Anyway, make sure you truly feel that way. Like I said, I love to call my sister, but there are a lot of times too where I just like to sit with it by myself to work through it myself, because I know me. Think about it, work through it without outside opinions, and just go through that. I have 3 left. What you watch affects you. I remember when I was younger, and I didn't cuss a lot, but every now and then the F-bomb would drop, and I used to watch Love and Hip Hop like nothing. That was my show. BGC, all them shows, I loved it. And I always used to think, my sister was like, oh, those shows are fucking old. And I always used to think, oh, those shows don't affect me that much. They do. What you watch, it affects your mind, it affects everything. So make sure you're very cognizant of what you're watching. Look at my blazer. Shout out to Zara. So make sure you're very mindful of what you watch, the music you listen to. It affects your mind. Even like TMI, I had a conversation with somebody. I don't know if I can even say this on camera, but I don't want you to flag me. What couples do on the night of their wedding day? Yeah, that stuff. Even those scenes in movies and shows, they told me that they were mindful of watching those scenes because before they know it, in their dream, it's now happening to them. You have to be very sensitive of what you watch, what you listen to, all that stuff. You might think it doesn't affect you. It might. So if be aware of your sensitive areas. If you maybe struggle with lust, know that, okay, I can't watch too much of this scene. What might not be a trigger for somebody else might be a trigger for you. So be aware of that. I talk about this all the time, but make sure you have a heart of gratitude no matter what is going on in life. Life can be beating you up. I know. Always have a heart of gratitude. Always have a heart of gratitude. It's so important. And my very last life lesson, everything I said would be in vain without this. Live a life with God. Live a life with God. I don't know how much more I can emphasize it than that, but live a life with God in it. I'm speechless, but I am working on a video where I talk a little bit about building a relationship with God, so I'm gonna dive deep into another video. But make sure you walk with God, the peace, the joy, the happiness you feel. Like, life could be struggle, but the fact that you know that you have God on your side, you'll be at, like, I can't tell you the importance of having God on your side. And along with that, pray. Live a prayerful life. I'm talking about 1 Thessalonians 5:17, where it says, pray without ceasing. That's the prayer you need to, like, pray. You need prayer in your life. Okay, so hi guys. Many hours have passed by, but I still wanted to wrap up this video. It's currently 4:26. I've gone to church. We even went to a little birthday brunch, but I still wanted to wrap up this video. And my last point, which I feel like is still my last point, put God first above all. I can't emphasize that enough, of the importance of having God in your life and having a prayerful life. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to go have a nice old nap, a deep nap, I can't lie. And yeah, these are the 24 lessons that I've learned. My 24 years of life, I've learned a lot more, definitely. And as I mentioned, I would definitely go into some of these topics a lot deeper, especially the one about understanding the realities of the world. I think we sometimes forget the way the world operates, and we just have a skewed perception of, I can do what I want, I should be able to do what I want, but that's not the reality of the world. So that's just what I wanted to say. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. My cheeks are hurting so bad. It's been a good birthday, so I want to say happy birthday to me.